Well, it's me again, I'm back. Just leaving Denby town. Roundabout behind me with the house in the middle. See it there? Don't see many of them. Big roundabout with a house. Because it never always used to be like that. Used to be the railway line and the bridge was there, and it's all been landscaping. Why do I start these videos on a busy road? Anyway, heading out of Denby on the bypass, named in the last few years as Rotary Road, which is there. And I'm heading towards Lleweni Hall. It's way over that way, but I'm getting to it via the banks of the River Clwyd. So I'll speak to you when it gets a bit quieter. I'll be turning off about 3/4 of the way of the bypass, passing sewage works and Whitchurch, Lleweni, and what have you. And yes, you will have my usual banter along the way. I'll be showing you the sights and sounds and the views and what have you. So you're more than welcome to join me. So I'll be turning off in about half a mile anyway. Past the sewage works. You only get things like that in my videos. Sorry that there's no smell-o-vision. Normally it stinks. Anyway, let's keep going. See? When I go to stop filming, there's no cars. It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, keep going. Big wagon. I don't like walking down this bypass. I keep well off the road. You see some, they walk in that little gap there. But I tend to walk on the grass. When you're driving down it, you don't realise how fast these cars are going. So I don't like walking. I'll be turning off soon anyway, a couple of 100 yards. But like I say, I keep well away from the road. Anyway, cracking day for a walk. And it'll be quieter when I turn off too. Especially along the banks of the River Clwyd. Hate this bypass. Well, walking along it anyway, don't like it. It's DC, Denby Castle, highest point of Denby town. Perfect place to build a castle. Anyway, I'll turn it off soon. Be nice and quiet and safer as well. This is more like it. Turned off the bypass. I could have carried on going to get where I wanted to go as Whitchurch. Well, you just about make out, that's where I'm heading now. Just about see it behind the trees there. Somewhere there, is it? Have I got it right? No, hang on. Bear with me. When you zoom in, got a lot of midges. Where are we? Hang on. Oh yeah, I was right, I think. Somewhere there anyway. I don't know if you can see anything there. That's where I'm headed. Is well, St Marcella's proper name, but it's known more popularly as Whitchurch or Lleweni. Yeah, like I say, what I was saying was I could have. That's the trouble with me. I waffle too much, and I start saying something, and I think of something else to say, and I start talking about that and what I was originally talking about. I forget what. So anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah. Anyway, I'm heading towards Whitchurch or Lleweni or whatever you want to call it. See, a lot quieter. But why? I could have carried on to the Middleton Park roundabout, but why do that when you can pass the sewage works? it's an adventure, isn't it? I mean, you know, God, you've got to do these things. It'll probably be stinking today as well. But anyway, I'll be turning off this country lane in a minute and then heading direct past the sewage works. Whoa, can't wait. God, there's a hell of a lot of midges. Whew. Anyway, keep going. I don't know if you can see that. Midges? God, it reminds me when I went up to Scotland. Millions of them. When I went to climbed Fort William. Not climbed Fort William, I stayed in Fort William when I went to climb Ben Nevis. God, that brings me back, although the midges in Scotland are much smaller. God, evil they were. I arrived at Fort William. It was very late because it was an 11.5-hour train journey. Bloody hell. And I arrived at Fort William, I think it was about 12 o'clock, midnight, something like that. And I was bivvying, I had a tent. I intended to stay, like a base camp was in the Fort William campsite. So I didn't want to go to the campsite at 12, midnight. So what I did was I just walked down, a couple of miles down the road and found somewhere just to bivvy for the night. And I had a bottle of cider. It was pitch black. I set the bivvy up. I thought I'll have a few drinks before I bed down. Like, am I in Scotland, or? And I opened the bottle. Well, I set everything up. I opened the bottle. I was all ready, and I was having a drink. I thought, oh, there's bits in this cider because it's pitch black. I didn't have a light, a torch on. I had a torch with me, like. I thought, what the hell's that? And I breathed in, and there was bits in my mouth. I thought, this cider's something wrong with it. So I put the cap on, I got my torch out, switched the torch on, the beam must have been, it gone about 6 inches, something like that, and it stopped, and there was all these midges. Ah! So I dived in the bivvy sack, zipped up, and that's it. That's where I spent my first night. And then I used to get to know when I moved the next morning, went to the campsite, and it was a certain time as the sun was going down. You put your midge net on, and sewage works, yeah, and all the midges would come out. But you're okay if you got. I used to have a drink through the can. I used to drink it through the midge net. So anyway, God, they've gone now. It's just down there. There's millions of them. Anyway, oh, the sun's warm. Anyway, I'm approaching the sewage works now. Exciting, isn't it? Whoa, there's everything in my videos. OMG, midge territory again. If I zoom in, I'm wondering if this camera will pick them up. I can't see them on the viewfinder, but if I zoom in, I don't know. Hopefully, you can see some sort of midge activity. Actually, I can see it on the screen. Never had that in this area before. Actually, how am I going to get across here? Anyway, keep the mouth shut and don't breathe in. Oh, it's deep here. It's probably the sewage works attracting them. Can't smell anything at the moment. Oh, here we go. God. Wow. Which way's the wind blowing? I'll probably get a blast in a minute. Sewage works. Oh. Anyway, that's Denby Quarry. In the distance there. Castell Denbigh. Well, just hidden behind there. There's 2 sheep. And there's another one. Actually, that's a ram. You looking at me? You looking at me? Whoa, look at them horns. He is looking at me. You stay there. Anyway, it's the sewage works as promised. Can't smell anything today either. It's Sometimes when you're passing here, whoa, absolutely hums. You can taste it. Pheasant there. Is he going to take flight? Yep, he is. Bang! Although saying that, they're out of season now. Anyway, there's the sewage works. Denby sewage works. Whoa, look at that. Whoa. Cool. Spoke too soon, didn't I? Wow, had a blast of it then. Anyway, so you're going to pass Whitchurch in a minute, across the road, and then down to a little path, down to another little chapel. There's Denby town, sun-bathed Denby town. The bypass, you can see there. Glad to get off that. Don't like walking along that bypass. Anyway, there's St Marcella's in front of me there. Sheep in the foreground. Medieval church. Oh, midges as well. Wind's blowing this way, the way I'm walking, so I'm getting a blast from the sewage works behind me there. Midges. Anyway, Lleweni Hall is over there. You may be thinking, what's he doing walking this way? I'm going to cross the road in a minute, and then I'm going to join a path, and then I'll be walking along the banks of, well, the River Clwyd. I'll be joining the River Clwyd. So let's keep going, eh? St Marcella's, Whitchurch, Lleweni. Take your pick. Anyway, turning it off now. Got the jackets on to keep them warm. Okay, ahead of me there is Brookhouse Chapel. You'll see the front of it in a minute. Red brick. Brookhouse Chapel. Short walk past Brookhouse Farm, and I'll be back in the countryside again. It's Brookhouse Chapel. Brookhouse Denbigh. Brookhouse Farm. Farm eggs £1. Yeah, honesty boxes there for you. Buy your fresh eggs, free range eggs for £1. Alright. That's the Brookhouse Mill. A fan. I'll be turning off now and heading alongside the river, joining the River Clwyd. Avon Clwyd. Oh, Brookhouse too, I've had many a pint in there. It's a bit upmarket to the pubs at the top of town. So anyway, yeah, I don't know, there's some fella sitting on the wall by the river there. He said something, I don't know, he grunted something, so he must know me. Didn't quite hear what he said. So anyway, out in the country again now. Show you the views and stuff in a minute. well, I'll be joining the Llandurnog Road, crossing that, and then I'll start showing you the views and hopefully get a bit of wildlife on camera and what have you. Right, across the river now. Someone's been busy with the chainsaw. Come on, you should know me by now. My sense of humour. I'm still here. I've had one or two comments saying on various walking videos saying, oh, that was quite a trek, you know, quite a long distance walk, but that's what I do, or that's what I've done for years, as well as mountaineering. I love my long distance walking, LDW, and I used to do the, well, someone's asked me what's the most you've walked in a day. Well, I'm not sure, but I remember going back a few years, well, more than a few years actually, the Open to Offers it was called, and I've done it about 3 or 4 times, and it's 21 mile. So I suppose that's the most I've walked, but it's mountain country. It's up there, up on the Clwydians, which I'll give you a better view in a bit later in the video. So I suppose it's 21 mile, so it's the most I've walked. But that's nothing to me. I've been doing it for years. I love long distance walking, and I used to do it like a challenge walk. I used to get sponsored. I used to raise money. So yeah. Anyway, enough of my waffling. Keep going. Be joining the road in a minute. I'll be crossing the road, Llandurnog Road, and then joining the banks of the Clwyd, River Clwyd. Oh, hang on, fallen tree here. Yeah, when I used to get sponsored, it would be well over 100 doing the walk, and the very first time I did it, I came second. So that was good. Second out of, it was I think 104 went, you know, did the challenge. Like probably a few were getting sponsored as well, but that was the very first time I did it. I came second, so because I got a pretty fast walk rate once I get going, especially on the flat. So yeah, it was good that. But I don't think they do it now. I used to get Trail magazine. It used to be called Trail Walker in the years I used to get it, but I think it's just called Trail now. And they used to advertise in that, and you could apply free, you know, like, you know, you get, well, actually I don't think it was free. You paid about £5 or something like that, and you got a cup of tea and a butty before you started, and a cup of coffee or what have you. But yeah, I started in Kilkin, rises up and heads off over the Clwydians to Loggerheads and back round to Kilkin. 21 miles. Just love every minute of it. So anyway, I'll join in the road in a minute. Crossing the road and then heading towards Lleweni Hall. Joining the main road again now. Let's go over this style, but not for long. That's looking back towards Denby, and that's heading towards Llandurnog, but I'll be turning off in a minute. I'm following the banks of the River Clwyd, or Afon Clwyd. Beautiful day. Just about to cross the River Clwyd now. I always remember I used to come along here, going back many years now, on a bike, a push bike I was, heading towards Llandurnog. I was coming up this bit here towards the bridge, and there was an adder going across the road, passing from one side to the other. Nearly ran over it. And that's the River Clwyd. Across the other side, it's a narrow bridge. There's a van coming. But yeah, it's the River Clwyd. And I'll just hang on to this van goes. You can see where the two rivers meet. It's the River Clwyd, and there's the Ystrad. It carries on down that way. So, I'll be turning off in a minute. So that's where the two rivers meet. So the Ystrad joins the Cluett. Anyway, like I say, turning off in a minute. That heads towards Llandurnog with the Clwydians in the backdrop, but I'll show you them a bit later on. It's quite warm now. That's telling you. Can't argue with that. Private fishing. Poachers will be prosecuted. Ooh. Some nice trout in this River Clwyd. Brown trout. Ooh. What a swamp. To make a bit of a detour, I think. Ooh, dear. I may never be seen again. God, that was deep, that. I could feel myself sinking. Anyway, heading on towards Lleweni Hall along the banks of the Clwyd to get some cracking views of the Clwydian Range. I am deep in the heart of the Vale of Clwyd now. Walking through a swamp. See the difference? Cluett is much wider, much faster flowing, much deeper as well. It holds more fish. Starting to see some wildlife now, some ducks and stuff. Ducks and stuff. How often do you hear that on wildlife programmes? Ducks and geese and stuff. Can't beat it. Basically all you do now is just hog the bank of the Cluett and you'll arrive at Lleweni Hall. Quite muddy too. Just to be expected, really. Just show you a little feature on these stiles. See that little gap there? So the dog to get through, just lift it out the way. Just let your dog through. So he's lifting it over the stile. Simple, but works. Just give you a quick rundown of the Clwydians. Start off with Moyle Park. See the TV transmitter at the back there. Oops, that's Clwydian. That's Moyle Arthur. All these ancient hill forts. Clwydian, Moyle Arthur. And last but not least, if I can find it. There you go. Moyle Vamai. Complete with the Jubilee Tower. My backyard. Oh, I've spent years wandering around that place, Clwydians, as well as the Ogwen Valley. One of my favourite places in Snowdonia is Oggy. So, keep going. This walk, this is a fair old walk, must be, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles, something like that. Just a stroll for me on a day like this. Ooh, beautiful. Very flooded though. If you can make it out there. Well, this area anyway, it's not surprising. It's very flat, as you can see. Very flat and very flooded. I'll show you, trying to get to, I'll show you from here I think. Can't make it to Lleweni Hall. It's totally flooded. Don't think the camera gives it justice, but I've had a good wander up and down, and I just can't get across it. It's deep, very deep. So I'm gonna have to turn back. Absolutely, I just cannot. You can see it there. That's what it's like over there. And that's where Lleweni Hall is. That's what I'm trying to get to the drive and back to the main road. But I'm on plan B, or I'm on plan C. Just cannot get past it. Totally blocked off. So, probably have to end the video here. Yeah, and I was just going to make my way back along the road that leads up to it, and then back to the main road, turn right, and that's where I end up back in Whitchurch or Lleweni or St Marcellus, whatever you want to call it. But I was going to end the video at Lleweni Hall, but I'll have to end it here. Unfortunately, I have to make my way back. Totally blocked off, totally flooded. Anyway, thanks for joining me up to this point. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.